Welcome back, hunters, to another episode of The Hunter's Guide to Cooking. I'm your host, Dalton Bates. This is a show inspired by the TV show Supernatural, based on this book right here, written by Julie Tremaine. Look at this baby right here. This is what we're baking today, everybody. This will be the first pie I've ever baked.
Alright, so first things first, you're going to need 2 prepared pie crusts. After that, you'll need 2 tablespoons of butter, 5 pounds of assorted apples, I like the yellow ones, ½ cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, ½ teaspoon ground nutmeg, whatever that is, 1 tablespoon cornstarch, 1 tablespoon lemon juice, 3 tablespoons apple cider, 1 tablespoon milk, 1 egg beaten, and some ice cream that I forgot to add to this. So first you're going to want to preheat the oven to a lovely temperature of 375. Press bake. Get some cool water running, you don't want warm water, and just rinse off those puppies. Make sure that these apples are nice and clean. You'll set up your cutting station and take your slicer or apple peeler or whatever it's called. To tell you the truth, this is the first time that I've ever peeled an apple. I always just usually bite them with my teeth. So you're seeing some history being made right here. And if you have any critiques about how I could better peel apples in the future, just let me know in the comments. So go ahead and just make sure you're peeling the apple with that peeler, and don't worry about taking the sticker off because you're just going to peel that off with this apple peeler. Now, this recipe calls for a decoring of the apple. I don't have anything that decores them, so I just took a sharp knife and kind of just cut around the core so I'd have slices and no core with the seeds. You can do this too at home. 900% speed increase because it took me over 9 minutes to core, peel, and cut all these apples. Hope you enjoy this. You must go to war with these apples. Make sure you're cutting them with ferocity, peeling them with ferocity, and decoring them with a real tool that you can use to decore these apples. Look at how beautiful they are after they get decored and peeled. This is wonderful. Look at that nice watch that I'm wearing, and look at that nice knife that I'm using to cut all this stuff, and the red mat. Perfect. Back to the video. That was traumatic. Get the heat set, and then go ahead and stir around some butter. Looks nice. You're going to take some sugar and use the proper measuring cup, which I actually have for this video, super excited about it, and pour that into the measuring cup. Then you're going to get some of your ground nutmeg, make sure that's leveled off, and pour that on in. Get some of your ground cinnamon, which smells amazing. I always get excited when I get to work with cinnamon. And go ahead and pour that in. If you get a little extra, who cares? After that, you'll take in the wonderful apples that you have cut and cored and peeled, and you'll put them into your buttery mix. And I left the sizzle sound in because how sexy is that sound? Just absolutely love it. And I hope you love it too. Go ahead and grab a spoon, a mixing spoon, and give your apples a nice little mix around with that butter. Don't be shy with it. After you're done mixing around in the butter, put your powdery mix on top. Looking fine, ooh, and then you're going to want to mix that around, make sure it's all evenly spread around those wonderful apple chunks. Look at those apple chunks. All right, this is when you grab your cornstarch and level that off. I'm not sure what the cornstarch does, to tell you the truth, but you put that in there, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it keeps the apples from sticking. I'm not sure what the point of cornstarch is. If you can't tell, I do all of the voiceover on this completely improvised. There's no script, and I don't know if that shows, but once you have the cornstarch in there, you go ahead and mix that around to keep it from sticking, which is what I assume. Now, this is my favorite part. Are you ready for this? Grab the apple cider, which is wonderful, and you're going to take your teaspoons and go ahead and pour that in there. So once I can figure out how to open the cap, oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, looks beautiful. And yeah, make sure you spread that around and give it that nice glisten. After you have your apple cider spread, you can go ahead and mix that around evenly. You don't want to neglect any bit of apple chunk that didn't get it. Finally, you'll take your 2 prepared pie crusts. Definitely not the ones I picked out, but they were the only ones I could find. And apparently you could make them yourself, but I just thought this would be easier. Plus, as a hunter, you kind of have to just go with the flow and make it work. So even though Yeah, it just broke right there and crumbled in. It's basically like graham crackers. It's whatever. So you pour in your wonderful apple mix that you just worked so hard on, hoping that the crust would work out. And you don't monkey paw it like I did because it's really hot. You couldn't tell from that angle, but I had to go back and grab a spoon to get the rest out because for some reason I thought I could just put my hand in and scrape it out. Dumb idea. But look at that sitting on top of your broken pie crust. Go over and grab the other broken pie crust and just make it work. Spread it out. Now, this is the part that confused me, and I'm sure it'll confuse you too. You're supposed to make a little spread for your pie crust with the beaten egg and the milk. Now, I need to warn you right now, please remove your pan from heat. I made the mistake of not doing that, and as I grabbed my spatula and mixed it around, you can kind of tell that it's cooking the egg a little bit. I almost made scrambled eggs. Anyway, you'll take your little tool there and spread it around your pie crust. Now, I want you to picture using the correct pie crust. This makes more sense then. After that, you are ready. Your oven is preheated, and stick that bad boy in. Oh, it's gonna be so good, you guys. Oh boy, the big reveal. Okay, look, I didn't want to bake a dessert anyway. I'm not good at desserts, but there it is. Oh, how beautiful is that, everybody? And don't forget, you have to have something to make it pop. And for me, that was this beautiful red apple. Oh boy.
All right, the first pie is in the books. I'd say it turned out pretty darn good. It looks exactly like the picture right here. So I would say that the Scarecrow apple pie was a complete success. As far as looks go, we got to find out how the taste test goes. So we'll go ahead and cut to Matt Wallace trying a little bit of this Scarecrow apple pie.
Wow, it looks so much like pie.
Munch, 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 munch. Munch, 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 munch.
Now I mean this in a nice way. It honestly just tastes like apples covered in sawdust. But like I like it though.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Hunter's Guide to Cooking. Really appreciate you making me bake dessert. That's fantastic. Now I'm going to leave it up to you again. Are we cooking appetizers next or lunch? Let me know in the comments and tune in next time.